Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I am going to be doing another palette bingo today because that's just what I felt like doing. And today we're going to be doing palette bingo with all three of the Blend Bunny Cosmetics palettes. Again, I know y'all are probably sick of seeing these on my channel, but I just love them so much, and between them and Nomad Cosmetics, they're what I use like every day. So oh god, I'm really terrible. I need to start using more of my other palettes, but they're just good. They're so good. So I wanted to go ahead and do a palette bingo for you guys today because it's been a while since I've actually used like all three in a look. So I thought a palette bingo could be a fun way to do that, and this will be another kind of like chit-chatty video. I have some life updates for you again because that's just the way my life is going at this point. I want to share it with you guys. I'm excited, and it's going to affect the way I do my channel, so I just wanted to kind of update you guys on that. But let's go ahead and get started. So if you haven't seen these palettes already, which if you haven't, I don't want to say have you been living under a rock, but like they're all over YouTube, so it kind of goes along that line. If you haven't seen them already, here's a little bit of education for you. Blend Bunny Cosmetics is owned by a wonderful woman named Maggie. She is so sweet and crazy talented and just so good at blending and creating these just absolutely gorgeous looks. I've been following her on Twitter and Instagram for a long time. And then she came out with her cosmetics brand, Blend Bunny Cosmetics, because her username is Blend Bunny. And her formula is just, if you're a beginner in eyeshadow and you struggle with blending, which I did for a very long time, these are the perfect formula for you. They blend themselves the way that all of the palettes are organized. They are organized in really good like color scheme order. I'll show you guys in a second. But it's organized with colors that go together, and they're just meant to create these absolutely beautiful looks, and it is amazing. So this is the original palette, the Blends palette. It's a rainbow palette, and as you can kind of see, it's organized by like color scheme. So you have the green row, blues and yellows, oranges, purples, pinks, reds, and then a neutral row down here. You can do like little quads, kind of like that. You can do rows down. Like, there's so many different ways to do this. I like to do my looks in kind of like the threesomes. So, like, these three go together, these three go together, these three go, like, see what I'm saying? So, this was the first palette she came out with, and it is absolutely stunning, and it's kind of amazing that I haven't hit pan on anything in here already, because I use it almost every day. Whenever I'm doing something with color, that's who I go to. The next palette that came out was the Blend Bunny Surge palette. This came out, I believe, fall of 21, I think. Yeah, it's either fall of 21 or fall of 20. I don't remember which one. I think it was 20. So this is the Surge palette. As you can see, this guy over here cracked a little bit and this guy cracked a little bit. But this was obviously a darker scheme palette, and this is the first palette that she added shimmers into. So she has, since this palette, improved the shimmer formula, because they're so soft pressed that they tend to crease on you a little bit no matter how much primer you use, although I find that a glitter primer definitely helps that. But you have a light like pastel row, you have just regular like mid-tone mattes, you have a row of darker mattes, you have the shimmer formula, and then you have neons down here. And I just think this palette is so super fun. But this palette up here, this is her most recent release. This is the Dollhouse palette. This is neutrals meant to help someone work their way into color. This is neutrals but better. This is the Dollhouse palette. This is also the first palette to, I'm not gonna like fully show it, but to come with a mirror. But this is just, oh my god. It's, every time I look at it, my heart just like melts a little bit. So you actually have, you have two rows of shimmers, one at the top and one at the bottom. So one is obviously lighter and one's a little darker. And then you have three rows of mattes, again, kind of with the lighter, like pastel transition-y shades, the mid-tone, and then the darker tones. And this is just absolutely amazing. This is going to be my everyday palette coming up soon, which I will kind of explain why in a little bit. But it's just, I love it. All three of these palettes are just absolutely stunning. And she does also have brushes, which is going to be mostly what I'm using today. I'll probably throw in some blinked brushes in there because y'all know I love my blinked brushes too. But we're just going to go ahead and get started on the actual palette bingo. There are 30 shades in each palette, so I'm going to pick 2 shades from each palette, give myself a total of 6. And let's just see what happens. So we're going to start with the blends palette. The first number we're going to generate is, I don't know if you guys can see this, but 27. It's 6, 12, 18, 24, 25, 26, 27. So that's a neutral, like light brown. Okay, so we have a good transition shade. We love that. I'm not mad at that. And then again for this palette, number 2. So then we have a bright green. I'm talking like bright green. So my ponytail is in the way. Here is the brown transition shade, and this is the green right there. Use my color switch. Okay. So then for Surge, we have 7, which is, okay, it's a dark green, because there's 6 in each row, and I'm going by rows. So we have 7, which is a dark green. Oh my god, are we actually getting a cohesive look right now? There's got to be a Catch-22 coming up here. And 25. Yeah. Okay, so that is the neon yellow. It's a very interesting look we have going here. This is not the color scheme I imagined that we'd get. And then we have the dollhouse. So we have shade 22, which should be 6, 12, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So that is like a brown, a very, very like deep chocolate brown. Oh my god, gotta get all this color off my hand. And last but not least, shade 26. 25. Oh my god, this is like my favorite color in the palette. This is the shade Imaginary. It is the gorgeous purple shimmer. Oh my god, I love that shade. Alright, so this is what we are working with here today. You know, I might be able to make this work. The purple kind of throws a little something funky in there, but I'm not mad at it. So give me a second to kind of like plan things out and probably do like one eye, and then I will do what I did last time. Do one eye and I'll show you the other one on camera, and yeah, we're gonna jump right into it. Okay, everybody, so this is the look that I came up with, and I'm not gonna lie, I kind of really like it, and I'm pretty excited to show you guys how I did it. So we are going to jump straight into the Blend Bunny Surge palette, and I'm going to go in with that shade Locked, which is like that dark, like foresty green color. And I'm going to take that on the Blend Bunny B4 brush. B2. I lied. Don't listen to me. And I'm going to take that and I'm going to pat that on like the outer corner, outer third of my lid in kind of like a wing shape, but like it's going to be a very messy wing shape. I feel like I don't play with neons enough. The way that this yellow was like popping on the inner corner, I'm kind of all over it, I'm not gonna lie. Again, I'm really just kind of patting that in. I'm not trying to blend it out too much yet. I just want to get the general shape going. So real quick, real quick. Life updates. I got a job as a paralegal, and I'm very excited. It's at the state's attorney's office in my county. I think I kind of mentioned to you guys before that I was applying to that, and I got the job. Crazy. I cried after I got off the phone with the person who told me. So I'm very excited. I start that job on March 31st, and I'm so excited. You know, I love cooking, and I'm going to be cooking for the rest of my life. Real quick, I'm going to take that same brush and a little, if I need some assistance, the Blend Bunny B1, I believe. Yeah, the B1, and I'm just going to blend around the edges. It was time for me to leave the restaurant business. You know, I'm still going to help them out when they need help. I know that they're going to need some assistance in May because the general manager is going to be, like the general kitchen manager is going to be on vacation for 3 weeks. So they're also going to be training new people, and they're just going to want some experienced hands while he's gone. So I already told them that I would come back and help out on weekends. So it'll be nice to still be able to like be in touch with them and everything like that. And the restaurant is 5 minutes down the road from me, so I can always go bother them if I feel like it. But it was time, and of course I finished my paralegal class and I got my certificate. It's just like I'm waiting for it to come in the mail, but I've completed the class. I have the official certification. I'm very excited. So, and then the other life update is that I got my my motorcycle back from the repair shop. It took a while to get some parts in because it's a bike that's no longer made. They stopped making it in 2020. And it's also a very popular bike. Like, truthfully, I don't know why they stopped making it because everyone really likes them. But because of that, it's a little harder to find parts. So it took a while to get the parts in, but I did get my bike back. I've already been out on it, just around my neighborhood, like my court and the court next to me. Because of course, like, you know, the last time I was on my bike, I was in an accident and I had a broken wrist. And so there's definitely a little bit of like apprehensiveness, but I got back on it and I'm riding it again. And I'm very excited. So those are the two like really big life updates. The main one was the job because of course now I'm going to be working 8 a.m. to 4:30 on weekdays, so it's definitely going to affect my filming time. But I'm hoping to still be able to get videos up somewhat frequently. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of that dark shade from Dollhouse, which I can't remember the name of it. Silhouette. It's that like super duper dark brown. I'm going to take just a smidgen of that on the B3 brush. I'm going to put that like right, really focused right in that outer corner. Like right there. Just to add a little bit more depth to that dark green. And again, I'm going to blend that out with the BB1. And then one thing I'm also going to do is I'm going to take, I'm going to go back into Locked. Locked is the color that I use mostly in this look. I'm going to take that a little bit farther into the crease as well. I'm going to want that to go probably like halfway through. But I'm going to place it mostly on the outer corner and then blend it inwards. Just like that. And yes, I know it's a little messy looking right now, but it'll get better, I promise. So my color guard is finishing up their season. They have one competition left, maybe. We had to cancel one competition already because it conflicted with the spring formal for the high school, and enough students wanted to go to that we canceled that competition. But now, because we got snow on Saturday, which was supposed to be SAT day, there's a they rescheduled the SATs to the day of our last competition, and so we're kind of starting to panic a little bit because they've literally only had one performance and one competition, and if we get the second one canceled, like, indoor season doesn't have nearly as many competitions and performances as outdoor seasons do. So we only had 3 to begin with. We canceled one. We're perhaps about to cancel a second. So we already had to add a performance. Actually, like, I'm going back with a little bit more Locked and taking that a little bit farther onto the lid. We actually added a performance on the spring concert, like the band concert night. So like what's going to happen is the band is going to perform, like just the instrumental, like I don't want to say freshman band, but I can't remember the name of the actual band class. But the several different bands and levels of music performance bands are going to perform, and then there's going to be like a brief intermission while some of the students who are in band and in the color guard get changed, and then we're going to perform there. But it's just one of the, so we still have a performance left no matter if this gets canceled or not, but like, competitions are so much fun, and I really hope that the kids get to do one more competition. If they don't, I'm going to be real bummed. Okay, so next I'm going to take from the Blends palette Oh, I just realized something I forgot to do. I'm looking at this and I'm like, why are my shadows not blending as nicely? I forgot to put my transition shade. So, on this eye, but not on this eye because I'm garbage and I can't redo it, I used that color Truth as just a transition shade. I put that all throughout my crease. I used the, where'd it go? I used the Blinged Brushes E24 to do that. I'm not going to redo it on this eye, but just know I did use all 6 colors in this look. I just forgot one in this one. You really can't see it in the final product, which is why, like, if any color gets skipped, it's kind of a good thing it's that one. But just know I did do that. That's my bad. I got so excited about talking about other things. So I'm going to take the color Remedy, which is that bright green that we're supposed to use, and that's going to go on the B4 brush, and I'm going to put it like right over top of this crease work here, and then in the inner half of the crease. And I'm going to stamp it on right at that edge there. And we're going to use this to kind of blend out and get some brightness added to the look. I'm using a very light hand to do this. And then I'm going to kind of bring it into the crease right here. Wow, I'm like really mad at myself that I forgot that. And then I'm going to take the B5 brush from Blend Bunny, and I'm just going to blend those together. Obviously I've stamped it, now I'm going to place it, or blend it, excuse me. I really feel like I need to play with like greens more often because I haven't played with greens in a while and I forgot how much I like them on my eye. I also kind of love how like grungy, not grungy this look is. It's really fun and I love it. So real quick before I move on to the rest of the lid, what I'm going to do is take my Luxie 221 flat definer brush. And what I'm going to do is take that really dark color Silhouette on the outer part of the lower lash line, followed by, what was it, Locked, that like dark forest green, followed by Remedy. So it's going to be kind of like an ombre lower lash line, which I tend to do a lot of. Placed it, and then we're going to go in with Locked for a little bit of green, and that goes about halfway in, and then I finish up with Remedy, which goes the rest of the way in. And then I always blend that out with my, what is it? Oh, the SL Miss Glam Angled Eye E61. Looks about even. All right, so real quick, I'm going to stop filming and then I'll come back and get the lid. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my NYX glitter primer and I'm going to put that all over my lid as a base for the neon to sit. Normally I would just do this with shimmers, but because it's a neon, I really want it to sit there and like pop really nicely. So I'm putting it all over my lid till about halfway in. And I just use my index finger to do that. And then I'm going to take my Blinged Brushes E4, and I'm going to spray that with a little bit of Max Fix Plus, but you can spray this with also just like any setting spray you want. And I'm going to take the color Shocked, which is that neon yellow from the Surge palette, and just begin placing that all over my lid. And I'm going to do more or less like 2 layers of this so that it really just pops. And I am going to take it till about halfway in, and then we'll go back over the transition area with a little bit of Lock so that they all blend nicely. And I'm really stamping this on as opposed to dragging it. And I'm trying to create a like half-cut crease look here. But if it's a little messy, that's okay. I haven't played with these neons enough either. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back in with the, where is it? The B4 brush. And I'm going to go back into Locked, and I'm just going to kind of work on that transition area a little bit and just make sure that they blend nicely together. I'm just going to go back and forth with the 2 brushes and just really make sure they sit nicely. I'm also just kind of touching up the crease a little bit because I feel like it's doing some funky things. And I'm mostly attributing that to having not had that transition shade in there. Alright, and then last but not least, we are going to go into the Dollhouse palette. And I'm going to take my Blinged Brushes E26. Oh my goodness. What did I do? And I'm going to take that color Imaginary, that like purple shimmer. And I'm going to put that on my inner corner. And I can do this, I'm going to do it like a little bit with my finger just to kind of get the general placement down. And then I'm going to kind of precise it up with this brush. And I love using this brush on my inner corner. I barely use anything else. Alright, so that is the look. I'm going to go ahead and finish up the rest of the face and the eyeliner and the eyes and everything off camera, and then we will check in for the final look. Alrighty everybody, so this is the final look that I came up with. I haven't done like a green eye with a red lip in a hot minute, but I'm so glad I did because I'm sorry, this is my vibe. I love this. So I used the Glamnetic lashes in Venus. I used the ColourPop gel liner in No Time, or It's All Time, whatever the dark green one was from the Raw Beauty Kristi and ColourPop collection. And then I used the Laura Mercier tinted moisturizer that I've been testing out. I used a new product to me. This is the Ofra Charm Your Cheeks Mini Mix Palette, and I used, what blush did I use? I used this one right here, which is the shade Candy Apple, it looks like. I got this in my, what month is it? March BoxyCharm. And I think that's it. ColourPop Lippy Stick in Poison, topped with Laura Mercier Lip Glass in Cream Caramel, and Tarte Miracle Mist Setting Spray. So again, this is the final palette bingo look that I came up with. I haven't done anything like this green or this like poppy in a while, and I think I kind of really needed it because I'm really just I'm vibing with it. Again, I'm looking at my monitor, so sorry if I'm looking over here. But I really, really like it, and I know you guys are probably sick of hearing it if you've been on my channel for a while, but I cannot stop telling you about Blend Bunny Cosmetics. Blend Bunny is just amazing. They are an indie brand, so they're just a smidge more expensive, but there's also so many discount codes out on the market. I kind of vary between a few every time I purchase. My friend Taylor, or Black Star MU1, she has a code. I think my friend Curtis has a code. My friend Cody, I believe, has a code, and then there's a bunch of them on YouTube. Betty Jean, or Batty Bean. I think Karen Harris has one. There's so many on YouTube that you can use. So I highly recommend purchasing something from Blend Bunny Cosmetics if you haven't already. And I know for a fact that this year, I believe it's this year, but I know it's definitely coming up soon. She's coming out with lashes and I think a 4th palette. So I'm super excited, and I hope you guys are too. That is everything for today's palette bingo. Let me know if you want to see more of these down below with maybe some of my other palettes that I don't use as much, or specific brands or anything like that. Also, I did buy the Glamlite and Hershey's Special Dark palette. I didn't film anything on it, but I can if you want me to. I bought this specifically for Raven's Game Days because I don't really have just like a monochromatic purple palette in my collection. And obviously on Raven's Game Days, purple is what I wear. And don't get me wrong, there are some ColourPop ones that I wanted, but I hadn't bought anything from Glamlite in a while, and this was a pretty cool release, and I saw a lot of people saying really good things about it. So I wanted to go ahead and buy this one. So if you would like to see a video on that, definitely let me know. But that is everything that I have for you. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye, everybody.